Hola, hola, hey guys, I'm Sitare. Welcome to our channel. Today, I guess I want to share a little bit of story time with you guys and how I too have been in the place of thinking that a vegan diet didn't work because of my own irresponsibility and own ignorance of not doing things responsibly. Let me explain. So let's start from the very beginning. A very good place to start. I've been doing pageants since I was 3 years old, and I want to keep this really concise and to the point, and I can go deeply into it, and maybe I'll speak deeper later on. But for now, just know this. I've been in the world of where appearance is very important. It's almost crucial to whether I have gigs or not. And for the longest time, I was in this world of looking a certain way. Now, I'm not saying pageants or being in this career of entertainment is a negative thing. It's not. Pageants are a great opportunity to connect with community and find creative ways of raising funds and interviewing well, working on your communication and standing for something. And that's where I hit a point where, wait, this is about being an example, and this is about representing and standing for something. And a lot of other women or young girls are looking up to these girls who are in pageants, who want to be like them and dream of being Miss Universe or just living a similar lifestyle. And so what does that mean? What am I representing really? And what does it really take for me to do this? And is this willpower really something sustainable? Eventually I hit a point where I wanted to see, when I start to take pageants really seriously, and what does it take, and how can I don't want to give them any reason to say no, so I was willing to do anything. I was willing to do anything, even do things to alter my body, and in that world, it's so accepted that you don't realize that what you're doing is something destructive to your health. And I know this because you start to help one another. You give each other tips on how to get ready for that photo shoot or for the runway. And it's like, oh, are you doing a juice cleanse? Me too. Have you tried this diet? Have you tried that diet? And eventually you're like, you don't have a period? Oh, well, haha. Like it's something that became really accepted. And when you hit a point where a doctor tells you if you ever want to have kids, this is something that you need to consider changing, or you're going to have to get this operation, that's when things really started to hit home for me. Also yo-yoing, because I didn't feel good, and I do these extreme cleanses and detoxes. And again, I'm not saying detoxing is juicing or smoothie cleanses or raw veganism is a good or bad thing. It's just being really aware of what you're doing and why you're doing it, and knowing the effects that it can have afterwards. For example, you do a water fast, you're not going to continue just drinking water forever. You're going to eat again, meaning you're going to gain weight again. And this can be a slippery slope for people that have food addiction or have deprived themselves from food for so long, and eventually your body just wants to eat the world. It's not willpower, it's common sense. Your body's really intelligent. It's going to ask you for what you need. And this is why the yo-yo happens, because you deprive your body for so long, and once you start to eat again, your body's like, I'm going to eat because I don't know when the next time you're going to starve me again is going to be. So I hit that point where I started to take pageants seriously, and I ended up getting sick. Long story short, I ended up getting sick. I couldn't maintain the weight. It was on and off. I would gain weight, I would lose weight, I would gain weight, I would lose weight. Eventually I developed really bad digestion issues, and when you have digestion issues, your body is looking for ways to release toxins, and if you're not doing it that way, you're going to do it through other ways. And for me, it was my skin, and I had severe cystic acne, and it's this yo-yo effect. You don't feel good. I started to also gain weight no matter what I did, and this is before I became plant-based. So you can be sick whether you're plant-based or you're not, you know? You can't be like, ha, vegans, you see, that didn't work. No, even people that eat meat get sick all the time. If anything, most of the time they get sick more often and can't even figure out from what, because they eat so many different things that it's hard to pinpoint what. Yes, now I know when something doesn't work for me because I eat so simply that as soon as I eat something, I'm like, ooh, that was not good, because it made me, I don't know, I got puffy after that or gave me a stomach ache, and I know exactly what did it. So I think it's a beautiful thing to be able to communicate with your body. This has come up because I received one of those photos on Facebook that goes, hey, remember you 4 years ago? This is what you posted. And I see this photo of me in this cover of a magazine, and I just look at myself wearing this crown, and it's like the crown almost turned into who had the most willpower of being the most destructive to themselves. Like, who could abuse their body more? Who could abuse themselves more and do something that in reality was not sustainable? And I'm not saying that's the case for everyone. I'm not speaking for everyone. Some people are naturally that way. Some people are naturally not interested in food. That's great. That isn't me and probably most human beings. And eventually I was like, who do I want to be? What do I want to represent? If I have kids, what do I want to mean to them? Obviously, for me, it's like I want to be that image of health and love, but part of that is being transparent, being honest, and taking care of yourself, and really, truly being an example of not trying to be something that you're not, and forcing your body to look like something that it organically and comfortably can't sustain. Look, I'm not an unfan of smoothies. I love smoothies. I love juices. I drink smoothies and juices. But when people are doing these cleanses, just being very aware and clear of why you're doing it. Why you're doing it, and knowing that afterwards it can have a different effect. So if you're doing it because I need to clean out, just be aware that afterwards you're going to start eating, and you can have that effect where you're going to want to eat a little more than usual, and you might gain a little more than you were before. It's very possible. Anyway, this whole process, this whole journey for me has been such a teacher, such a lesson. Even the weight gain, and even as I eat very healthy, I myself have been challenged with like food addiction, in the sense of like I deprived myself for years, for so many years, on and off. Being in this game also of people telling you, hey, you know, we've been seeing you on the show, and like, I don't know if that dress is just not favorable to your body, but I was gaining weight. Just having to restrict my calories and do these cleanses, and that's just how accepted it is in the industry. Like, oh, just do this cleanse and you'll be fine, or like, I'm just juice fasting before the runway. And I mean, if that's your career and this is what you're going to do for the rest of your life, for most of us, this is not the case. And it's tricky. You post a photo, I post a photo of my past, and the amount of likes it gets in comparison to one where I'm now healthy and vibrant does not even get nearly as not even half the amount of feedback that it used to get. And I remember coming off my water fast that was done for healing and spiritual purposes only, and seeing people from the industry and them being like, giving me gigs right away because I looked fabulous, and being like, I only look this way because I've been drinking water for 2 weeks. Obviously that's not sustainable. It is not fun. You get the picture, but in real life, behind that picture, you are not having a good time. You're not a pleasant person to be around when you're hangry. Yeah, the vegan diet didn't work for me because I was abusing the vegan diet. And I was actually abusing even the regular carnivore diet, whatever you want to call it, the standard American diet. I was also abusing that beforehand. So you can't go and blame a type of diet when someone's not really doing it responsibly. And responsibly does not mean you're just doing cleanses every day all the time. It's looking for something that's sustainable. And this has been a journey that I've had to learn through reading a lot of books and reaching out to a lot of the plant-based doctors and connecting with them and going to retreats and going to festivals and listening to summits and interviews about it. Reading books like The China Study, Starch Solution, anything by Neil Barnard, How Not to Die, Proteinaholic. Just doing my investigation while I'm experimenting myself with these foods, and also getting checkups, talking to the doctor, using Chronometer as a tool to just make sure I'm hitting all of my nutritional needs, and taking my vitamin B12. And if you're not in a place where there's a lot of sun, or you don't get a lot of sun, checking to make sure your vitamin D is okay, and taking supplements until you know how to manage that and raise up your levels so that you don't have to take them anymore, and get it all based off your nutrition and the practices that you're doing daily to be fully healthy. Yeah, be responsible, you guys. Love yourself. Be that example that you want to be to yourself, and to be true to yourself, and to genuinely be happy. Like, if you're in that place right now where all you think about is food and what you're going to eat tomorrow, and it's like become an obsession, and you wish you could just like stop that being your world. I know it's not easy, but you're not alone in this. And at the end of the day, we want to evolve our world, and part of that means we have a huge responsibility to take care of ourselves. And if you're someone that's spiritual, I know a lot of the people that follow me are, you know, believe in God or religious, then you know that this is your temple, and this is such a gift. And in a sense, you can almost see it as not yours, and therefore it's a responsibility to take care of it. And if you really are someone who wants to worship, or someone who wants to show the good person that you are, like, be the good person that you are to you and this body. You're so much more, and you're so much more than what you look like. But I'm just reminding you, because I know you know, and life is really, really, it's a gift. And I think finding ways to fully enjoy it is the most important, and living a life where you're completely obsessed with how you're going to lose weight or how you're going to look a certain way is maybe not the way to do it. Change it up. Do things right. Investigate more. I'm not saying go and eat meat. No, I'm saying do your research, connect with the right people, reach out to these plant-based doctors, nutritionfacts.org, do your homework, be responsible, make good, healthy decisions. And remember, namaste play. I hope this helps some of you guys. I'll see you in the next video.